Hello, welcome back to English class. Today we are going to think about the notes we took yesterday about character. You learned yesterday that characters are people, animals, and creatures in a story. You also learned that some characters are flat, which means they never change throughout the story. But some characters are round. That means they change throughout the story. It doesn't mean they're big and round and fat, but they might be. The character development story map is something you're going to do today. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to talk to you about how to do this. I'm going to give you an example, and then you are going to try this on your own. So when we say a character develops or character development, we mean that the character is going to change from the beginning to the end. Think about a movie that you know, your favorite movie. Maybe your favorite movie is The Grinch. And at the beginning of that story, the Grinch is mean and cranky and hates everybody. But at the end of the story, he changes to feel love and he becomes a kinder creature. We're going to do our example today with our story from last week, A Bad Case of Stripes. But right now, let's talk about this part. This says the beginning, and we know the beginning is the start. The first thing you need to do is write down the book title that you're going to use. Then you need to write the character name for the book you're going to use. Think about the character that changes. Don't write about a character that stays the same. The first box says character traits. When we say trait, we mean something about that person. So for example, a character trait might be somebody who's always sad or happy or funny or crabby or smart or kind or silly. What kind of character traits does your character have? What does he or she feel in the beginning of the story? What does he or she think or believe? And then I want you to think about, what does this character do? What actions do they do? How do they treat other people? Okay? So this is at the beginning of the story. Then something usually happens to make this character change, an event. What is the change that happens? You will write about that change here. And then you're going to think about the ending. So at the end of the story, the character has changed. How does this person feel now that's different from here? How does this person treat other people, or what does this person do at the end that's different than over here? So let me show you my example for our story, A Bad Case of Stripes. I wrote down the name of the book at the top. I wrote down the character name here. At the beginning, it says, how does this person feel? She is nervous for school because she has stripes and she's very worried about what other people think of her. What does she do? Well, she doesn't do what makes her happy. What makes her happy is eating lima beans. But she's so worried other people will make fun of her and she will be embarrassed. So she keeps not doing the things that make her her. The doctors come, they cannot fix her, the kids are making fun of her, she is sad. But then something happens. There is a change. You might remember she looks like this at one point. And then she looks like this. And finally, who comes to her house? a sweet little old lady. And this little old lady gave her some lima beans. So the change is that she gave her lima beans. What happened when she started to eat the lima beans was that she finally felt like herself again. And she turned back into a normal girl, and she didn't worry about what other people thought of her anymore. So at the end, how does she change? Camilla starts feeling happy again and lets the real her show. What does she do? Some people make fun of her still, but it does not bother her one bit because she loves herself. Now, you are going to try this assignment on your own, but you're going to do this for the story, The Three Little Pigs. And when we think about the story of the Three Little Pigs, we remember there are three brothers. Two of them build houses that are not very good. So when we think about the brothers and we think about who changes the most, we probably should choose either the brother who made his house out of straw, or the brother who made his house out of sticks, because those two brothers are the brothers who learn the important lesson and have an important change. Okay? So, Three Little Pigs, you can also look at that story again if you go into the Thursday folder from last week to see it again. Okay? Good luck with this, and please come to our Google Meet for questions. Bye-bye.